So in today's video, we're going to be making a pattern knife sheath. But if you're new to the channel, my name is Tarek. I've been a full-time artisan for many years now. And these videos are all about sharing some of those tips and tricks that will hopefully encourage you and help you along your journey. Alright, so on the link below, you'll be able to go and download this pattern, and then you'll have the exact template that I've used to make many of these pattern knife sheaths. And then for a scale reference, I have put, either if you're working in metric or in imperial, there's 10 centimeters or 100 millimeters, and you've got a 4-inch line. So print it out, put a ruler next to it, and check if the scale is correct, or change your printer settings accordingly. So Shalene and I do make these for our website, so I have pre-cut pieces of leather. The size of the blocks that I use is 110 millimeters, 11 centimeters, by 120 millimeters, which is 12 centimeters, and the thickness is 2 millimeters. So before I start any leather project, I always make sure that my knives are sharp, and not just sharp, but razor sharp. So I just touch them off and make sure everything is sharp. It allows for much easier cutting and a better finished work product at the end of it. You'll notice that because this is thicker leather, I'm not forcing the cut. I'm letting the knife do the work. I make sure that I'm holding my template in several positions. Obviously, if you've just got the PDF, you can cut your paper out and then just go around that. Having a steel template like this definitely makes it easier, and I would suggest making templates for any sort of item that you do make more than one of. The templates don't have to be made out of steel. They can be made out of various other things, but just having a template to work around makes things a lot easier. I do take my time around the corners because I want to make sure there's a nice clean cut over there. That would be piece number 1. So I'm going to scarve down the front end of the little spacer that goes at the bottom. The reason why I want to scarve it down is so when these pieces come together, it leaves for a cleaner stitch. So it just flows a little bit easier. So not too much. I'm just going to take off just a little bit there off of that top corner, and that's it. So literally just take off just that. So it just tapers, it's a tapered scarf going all the way up. I've got a piece of 120 grit sandpaper. This is what I tend to use every time I'm needing something to be the surface to be roughed up before gluing. Just a little piece of 120 grit. And then my glue of choice for the last many years now, probably 5 years, has been the Ceragum. It's a good glue to use this. It dries pretty quick. I have added a little bit of water to mine. It just helps it go on a bit easier. So guys, when I'm gluing anything over here as well, you can see how my hand is. I'm holding the the bottom piece up so it's not able to touch the other part, otherwise it sticks. And then I'm sort of using my top finger as a guide, where it's just keeping everything level until it comes right to the end. And again, I'll look at it vertically so I can make sure that everything is lining up. And then again, I'll push down with this hand, and I'm keeping the other hand basically as a guide, sort of guiding that piece of leather all the way down. Oops. And trying to hold it in a way that I can show you as well. Next up, I'm just going to mark my stitching line. This is just a very basic tool that I made probably 14 years ago now, and it just gives a correct stitching space for another tool that I made for doing the edge creasing. So you can get these things off the shelf, but yeah, that's what I'm doing there. And then I'm going to punch out my stitching. I'm using a 4mm stitching chisel. That's what this one is. So I'm using 0.6mm tiger thread for this sheath. It's one of my favorite threads. It's a very easy thread to stitch with. And also, if you are needing a detailed instruction of how to saddle stitch, there is a video on our channel that goes into the saddle stitching in depth. Right, so the next step that I like to do on all my projects is, once I finish stitching, I'll sand down those edges. If it's a small item, I'm actually going to take it to the back there to one of my knife making machines. But I mean, you can just take a piece of 120 grit sandpaper. If you've got a Dremel, you can use a little sanding disc. I've used one of these on many projects, and they work great. If you don't have a Dremel, hand sand, but it does make a nice finished edge. So I'm going to go over to one of my knife machines. Okay, so the last step now is I'm going to put a press stud on this side. I'm going to show you how to do this so that no matter what size you get, you can mark it out and do it to your sheath. Alright, so first I'm just going to take the head of that cap, and I'm going to make it so I can just see where it fits evenly on the leather. I'm going to push down and give myself a little mark. If that mark is not in the center, so what I do over here, take my punch, and if it's not in the center, mine is in the center, I would just move that over just to the center of the leather on each side. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to place the pattern knife in its sheath, and I've lost that button. There it is. Pop it in there. Relaxed fit, take it over, give it a push, and that'll leave an imprint there of the next side to punch. In order to not damage your punch, I'll just pop a piece of plastic underneath the hole that's going to be punched, and then like most of my tools, I've made them myself. When I bought these, the shop didn't have the correct tools to be able to do the fitment, so that's why you won't see one of these. I made this to fit these. And let me see if that fits nicely. There it is. So I hope you've enjoyed watching the video. I certainly have enjoyed making it for you guys. And remember, if you're wanting the PDF, it is a free download on our website. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.